What's good people, and welcome back to the channel here on Crewboy Productions. My name is BK, and this is the Silly Nerdy and Wordy Podcast with episode 99, Crime 101, my nerdy review. What is going on, everyone? Hope everybody is doing very well, and I am very happy to be doing this episode today, as I'll be talking about this new Crime 101 film as it is my first film that I have seen in the theater for this year of 2026. So if you haven't seen the film, go check it out and come back and give me a watch or a listen. Speaking of the listening, thank you for all those people that are downloading and listening on the podcast feeds, as well as listening on YouTube and watching. Thank you very much to all subscribers, listeners on all the different platforms. So continue to subscribe as I have more content coming. I'll actually be seeing Hell's Kitchen in a week or so I'll be going to do some Broadway stuff. But let's get into this film and this Crime 101 film. It is directed by Bart Layton, and the cast includes Chris Hemsworth, Halle Berry, Mark Ruffalo, Barry Keoghan, Monica Barbaro, and Nick Nolte, just to name a couple of the cast. This was a interesting film. I would say it was a solid film. It is definitely a slow burn film in terms of the pacing and the rhythm of it. I think it picked up towards the end, particularly once Barry Keoghan's character came in and he mixed it up a little bit. You may remember him as he was in Eternals, Marvel's Eternals. So this was I don't know. I thought it was a good film. The action was good. I thought it would be a little bit more, but that's okay. There was a lot of downtime in between action. It was a lot of dialogue. It has complexity to the story in terms of the script, in terms of what was going on with three primary characters, in terms of their internal issues that they were dealing with, as well as professional issues. I'm talking about Halle Berry's character, Chris Hemsworth's character, and Mark Ruffalo's character. They all had things that they were dealing on with themselves separately. And I thought it still wove into the overall arcing story of this film. So I like what they did there with the script and the screenplay. And also, one thing that is a standout that was very nice to see, and that is Chris Hemsworth. Of course, he is in the Avengers films, the Thor films, and his appearances. So I thought he did a really great job. And I say that because it's nice to see someone you always see in particular types of films or TV shows outside of that. And so to see him outside of the Marvel Studios films is nice. He showed a lot of range in this in terms of what he was doing. He also did not use his Australian accent in this film. He was using an American accent. So that was pretty cool. I've seen the couple things outside of the Marvel stuff for Chris. I've seen him in the Extractions films, the Black Hat film back in 2015. And of course, now this film, he's done some other things as well. I think he does voice one of the main characters in Transformers 1. Which I will be getting into later. But it's just nice to see him outside of the Marvel space. And of course, he has this film right now in February, and in Avengers Doomsday later this year in December 2026. But I like the range that Chris Hemsworth showed in this, as his character was very unique. He was doing these crimes, these heists, but also doing it in the way that he's not hurting people. He's not killing anyone, so to speak. He's making sure that they're all right, but he's still committing a crime. And then he's also wanting to date. So he has this courtship dating that's going on with Monica Barbeau's character. So that was interesting. And he's wanting to eventually, walk away from it. And he's very detail oriented in how he does it. So very complex criminal as he's going about it in this film. And speaking of Monica Barbeau, she had limited screen time in this film, but I like what she brought to the table with what was written for her and how she executed it with what she did in terms of the emotion and a different aspect that she brought to this film and to this role. I thought Halle Berry was great. It's always great to see Halle Berry on screen. I like what she did. I like the scene in the office where she just kind of let things off of her chest and helping the young person that was taking her spot and eventually leaving. So what she was doing and the way they positioned her in terms of ultimately giving this information to Chris Hemsworth's character to pull off this heist, I think that was well earned in the way they went about doing that. And then moving on, another thing I want to talk about is not many technical things, but here's one technical thing within the story of this film I want to talk about as also involve a little bit of action, and that was the car chase that was happening with Chris Hemsworth and Barry Keoghan's character, the car chase and the motorcycle chase. That was nicely done. Of course, when you have car chases or motorcycle chases, I've seen enough production featurettes to know that it is a lot of coordination, and it involves shutting down particular aspects of the street, of the city, which involves talking to city and or government officials, depending on the location of which you're filming this, and the streets and the block that you have to do it. And when you're doing those particular types of chase scenes, you most likely only have a limited amount of time, especially if it's doing it at the daytime. You got to do it within the daylight. Or if you're doing night shoots, maybe it's a little better. And then, of course, if you have some elements in terms of the rain, you'll have to deal with that. But there's a lot of coordination involved in getting the area that you want to film these chases, and then coordinating and make sure everyone is safe as well, if there's any particular crashes and people involved. So really nice job with how they did that and all the different roles that are involved in getting the area locked down, and then of course the filming of the actual car chase by whether it's the director or one of the second unit directors and all the people of safety involved with that. There's a lot that goes into a car chase or a motorcycle chase when you're filming that to get those things. And of course, the key thing is, in addition to getting the stuff captured, is safety first for everyone, whether it's the actors and or stunt performers. Another technical thing, as well as a story thing, is when the Avengers castmates got together on screen. I'm talking about Chris Hemsworth and Mark Ruffalo. They eventually got in the car together, leaving the airport, as Mark Ruffalo's character replaced the person that was going to be the security guard as he went undercover. And in that car ride, as they were going to the hotel, I love how the tension in that car scene with the conversation between Mark and Chris, as well as the looks that they were giving each other in the rearview mirror, the sound and the score of the music as they were talking. So very high, intense pressure and intensity in the moment there in between the two of them. So great job by the vision of the director doing that, as well as the composer, the sound team, and the editor putting that together and getting it the way that we were able to see in this particular scene in the car. So I like what they did there with that. And what else can I say about this? So not too much, but it was just it was a slow start for me. And like I said, it picked up towards the end of the film. This is a different type of film. The action scenes were okay, and the score and the music, not too much to talk about. I think there was one overall theme that I liked, but nothing else there. We got a somewhat of a happy ending with Mark Ruffalo's character, the detective, letting Chris Hemsworth go. Chris Hemsworth's character giving Mark Ruffalo the car that they talked about, and then Ruffalo's character giving Halle Berry some diamonds that he took from the heist. Is not good for a detective, but I guess a little bit of happy endings. And then also Chris Hemsworth giving more in terms of to Monica Barbaro's character and the relationship with the picture, trying to be with her. And then she leaves and goes to what looks to meet him. The director leaves that ending up to interpretation. So interesting ending, but I kind of liked it. Unique type of film. It definitely forces you to be patient and wait in terms of everything developing and crescendoing into the ending of this film. So it's a slow burn kind of film. Dialogue, important things in this film. And I think that's all I'm going to talk about in this nerdy review of Crime 101. If you have seen it, let me know your thoughts. If you're planning to go see it, let me know what you thought about it. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Did you like the little mini Avengers reunion with the two Avengers folks? So we'll see how that goes. And then, of course, that's all I'll have today. So subscribe to the channel if you like these type of reviews about production details, story details, as I have a lot of films that I've reviewed from things in the theater as well as Blu-rays. I'm doing a lot of that lately in between films that will be in the theater. Of course, I have the Broadway stuff. I'll be seeing Hell's Kitchen very, very soon. So be on the lookout for that. I've just done the Harry Potter movie number 5. So that is available too. So that's all it's going to be for now. So hope all of you have a great rest of your day and amazing vibes. And until next time, we will talk soon.